ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of that gang stalking show. This is a weekly broadcast, usually 3 to 5 times a week. I do this show. It's all about bringing awareness to gang stalking. Before I get started, I've been asking people for donations for the Gang Stalking Research Organization project. And guess what? We got our first donation of $10 by Josephine Bonnie. Thank you, Josephine. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. She writes, "Hi, I've been watching your videos and I'm sorry that you have been going through something so horrible and evil. I hope that you are well and having a good day. Thank you for your courage and God bless and protect you." Thank you, Josephine. I appreciate those kind words. And I do appreciate the donation. And the donation is not going to me. It's going to the Gang Stalking Research Organization project. I'm going to get the website up. I'll do the basic skeleton of the website. Probably have to get hire somebody to develop the forms that are going to be on the website that allow you to report. But it's also going to be a resource-packed website focusing on the targeted individuals of gang stalking. And one of the things I want to do with it is get as many people as I can to report incidents of gang stalking. And then once we get a lot of data together, I want to approach Stanford University, their psychology department, and ask them to research this. There's so much data that can come out of this that hopefully in a year's time, I don't know if it's the American Psychiatric Association, if there is an association like that, but I know that there's a psychiatric association. If we could bring this into their realm and let them understand that this is a real phenomena going on and it's not delusions, a lot of these doctors will change their diagnosis on people like you and me. I've been slapped with a delusional disorder, and I promise you, I'm not delusional. And neither are you. You're just being harassed. If it was a delusional disorder and I knew it was, I would live with it. I would just tell myself, hey, Doug, you just got a bad deal. The deck handed you a bad hand. Deal with it. Just live with it. There is a scientist, either Russell Crowe or Cameron Crowe, played the part of a scientist in a movie called A Beautiful Mind. And the guy had schizophrenia. The guy come to grips. He's a great mathematician. He finally come to grips with, I know I'm hearing voices in my head. I know I'm seeing things. I know I'm delusional. He came to terms with it. This guy's still alive, I think. But if it was that way for me, I would come to terms with it. But it's not. Delusions don't manifest themselves in the form of 10 to 15 car alarms going off every time you approach a Walmart or a grocery store or a large parking lot. Those things are being set up because the minute you leave your apartment or home, somebody who's getting their crack for the day by watching you, they'll pay them in crack or whatever their drug of choice is. They'll pay them to keep an eye on you and then to alert everybody in their network, probably through a Facebook page, hey, our target is probably going to Walmart. Everybody meet up there. And they decide that, okay, we're going to do a noise campaign. We're going to make the alarms go off as soon as he approaches. And then once he goes in the store, we'll turn them off. And as soon as he comes back outside, we'll do it again. That, my friends, is not a delusion. That is reality. And when it happens on a daily basis or every time that you visit a store, it's no longer a delusion, and it cannot be classified a delusion. And it wasn't a delusion in the first place. We've got psychiatrists running around slapping diagnosis on people that are just totally bogus because they really just don't want to get off their lazy ass and do their job. Unlike a regular medical doctor who has to be on call Most psychiatrists aren't on call. They have a practice where they book as many patients as they can, and then they'll stop seeing new patients because from 8 to 5, all they got to do is see their regular patients. They don't have to take anybody new in, and they're making $15,000, $20,000 a month, and they don't have to be on call or anything like that. But once again, thank you, Josephine Bonnie, for that $10 donation. And for everybody that donates, regardless of the amount that you donate, I will give you a shout out. And the money will go for the Gang Stalking Research Organization Project. That, and it'll go for new camera equipment and video editing equipment. Now, this is hard to do. Today's show is about the Pedophile Harassment Program. That was the best title I could come up with. In 2006, I was being harassed relentlessly. Every night at work, I worked the evening shift. After the 8 to 5 staff was gone, after administrative staff was gone, and after there were no more uncool staff people around that could probably tell on these perpetrators, they would start receiving text messages. And the reason they probably received text messages from the proxy stalker in the first place is because they were told, we want you to harass this guy. This guy, Doug, he's a pedophile. He's a homosexual. He's a murderer. He's an arsonist. Things of that nature. None of which are true. And so that's how they get to people to stalk you, especially people that you work with. So they tell them a lie about you, and then these people go ahead and they become complicit with your stalker, and they'll start sending text messages. Now, among the themes that I heard many a times was, he's a pedophile, they're going to kill him because he's a child molester. And they would never say this to me, but they would say it within earshot of old Doug. They would, every night it was either about murdering somebody. Walmart, this character by the name of Walmart, that was a pseudonym. Walmart is just a pseudonym for his real name. The initials are correct, WM. Every night they would receive a theme to go by. Either it was about child molestation, or it was about homosexuals, or it was about murdering. It was never about people just doing what you do in real life, talking about ordinary daily events. They didn't do that. They would go off on these morbid themes, and you can tell it's being done especially for you. Now, I heard this pedophile theme many, many times, but since nobody ever actually came up to me and said, you're a pedophile, I couldn't just go up and boom, knock them out. Though I wanted to. If anybody, I'm a nonviolent person. But I promise you, if you send somebody out there to come tell me that I'm a pedophile, I don't give a fuck how big and how bad that person is. I will fuck that person up. I'll probably put him in the fucking grave. You don't go around insinuating or slandering somebody's name by calling them a pedophile. Now, on 2 occasions, I knew that this pedophile theme had been thrown out there. I went to high school with a girl that was a senior when I was a freshman. I knew her throughout high school, didn't know her very well, but while she was in high school, she also worked at a place called Rush State Hospital where my mother was a social worker. So she worked with my mother, she knew me, and I ran into her back in 1997 after I graduated from nursing school, and she was an RN. I met her at a restaurant in Tyler, Texas called Mercados. For about 30 minutes, we talked about nursing, the money that you can make, the best thing that a new grad could do out of school, go into med surge and just hump it and get after it. And she was happy for me. She's also from my hometown. I'm not going to say her name because she has since passed on, and I'm not berating her or anything like that. They got to her. And what they did Well, let me tell you, this lady hired me. She was happy to have me on board. For 2 weeks, it was a grace period, the honeymoon period I've talked about in different videos. And then all of a sudden I come to work one day and her face is literally as red as this glass. And she was a light, freckled complexion lady. And as I'm walking to the nurse's station, she goes, "You don't clock in." And I go, "What's the problem?" She goes, "You're fucking fired." And I go, "Why?" She goes, "I don't have to give you a fucking reason. Just get your fucking shit and get the fuck out." Mind you, this is somebody who I knew prior to becoming a nurse. Someone who was very cordial with me. I left nursing sometime after that. I went to work. I'm going to call it a fast food restaurant. I'm not going to name this girl either. A good friend of mine who was a fishing buddy from like 1978 all the way up to today, known him for a long time. He's got a cousin, and she runs this food chain or this restaurant. I was going to car hop for him, and for 2 or 3 days, everything went great. And then they changed the schedule on me, and they didn't tell me. But I came to work on my next scheduled day, and she says, "You're fired." And her face was beet red. And, you know, people aren't going to get beet red over you missing a day. And I go, "What's the problem?" She goes, "You didn't come into work Saturday." I go, "You didn't have me scheduled Saturday." She said, "Yes, I did. Look at the schedule." The schedule was done in pencil. You could tell it had been penciled in. And she was beet red in the face too. And I knew it didn't have anything to do with not showing up for work on Saturday. She had been told by my proxy stalker or whoever is in charge of handling me that I was a pedophile. I promise you people, I know who's doing this. I know who my proxy stalker is, but I don't know who's handling this. You're going to send somebody to their grave one of these days. Somebody's going to catch old Dub on a bad day, and that's going to be it. I'm going to make national headlines. I'm going to bring national media focus in on this. I hope it doesn't happen that way, but if you ever send anybody to my face calling me a pedophile, better make sure they got life insurance. What got me on about this topic today is I was watching a video earlier today. It's a black guy and a white guy. It's under the name of Chris Gristle. That's CrisGristle. I've got this video liked in my playlist. Just go to my playlist and go to part 2. They'll try to set you up. In this video, Chris and this black guy are talking about the maintenance man who's mouthing off to him. And the maintenance man is more or less insinuating that, well, what if somebody calls you a pedophile? That'll let the gangbangers have a reason to come jump you, or something to that effect. Not only is it on this show, and Chris also talked about people coming up and snapping photographs of him many times out of the clear blue sky when no one else is around. I've had complete total strangers walking up, click, click. If you watch the video, they'll validate what I'm telling you. This has happened to many of you. I think that next time that this happens, I'm just going to go ahead and clock somebody. I'm just going to go ahead and knock them out. That's it. I don't give a fuck how big you are. I'm going to clock you. But here's what someone posted to underground.net, and it's under gang stalking. Jesse is replying to something else, and I don't know what it is. I've had the same problem for several years now. I'm harassed everywhere I go. The grocery store, driving down the street, the gym. It simply doesn't matter where I go. I want to say something today. I was harassed today, so I must be doing something right with the gang stalking show. That gang stalking show. So I'm riding back to my doctor's appointment, a white vehicle. Doot, doot, doot. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm not even on the road. And they start waving at me, and I don't know anybody in this town but 3 people, and none of them drives a white vehicle. I know who drives the white vehicles around here. Just call the FBI and ask them. Can you tell me which domestic terrorist group drives white vehicles exclusively? They'll clue you in. Call the FBI if you got questions. So I know I must be doing something right. They're watching my videos and they're thinking, we got to kill this motherfucker. We got to do something about him because he's not going to stop. And guess what? I am not going to stop. I've got an attorney. It's not going to stop. I know somebody with the FBI. It's not going to stop. If you have me kidnapped, killed, or whatever, it's not going to stop. They'll simply come after you. They will look up every orifice that you have, and you'll probably go to jail. But getting back to what Jesse has to say, people make rude comments in public. Street theater. When I finally convince myself to be positive and have a good day, they will hit me all at once. My head immediately goes down along with my self-esteem. It's a daily struggle I wouldn't wish on anybody. I've been told that I'm a murderer, a pedophile, rapist, and an arsonist. I'm not sure who started all this, but it's beyond impossible to defeat. I become numb to it. It's not impossible to beat. Join me in getting the gang stalking research organization project off the ground. Folks, I'm not your local church, but I promise you, if you go to church and they pass around the offering plate, I don't care if it's 50 cents, you need to donate something to the church. If you're going to ever have your voice heard, and for us to be able to prosecute these people, get this recognized by psychiatrists and doctors as something other than just a delusional disorder, please go to my GoFundMe account. Type in that gang stalking show. Donate $1, 50 cents. I don't care. Just donate something. I'm on disability and I'm on $100 a month food stamps. I don't have the money to do what I want to do. But you can help fund this. This is for you and it's for me. I want to get this before Congress. I want to get it recognized. I want to do a study at Stanford with their psychology department. So we're up there with cyberbullying. I mean, like Donald Trump's wife is now championing cyberbullying. Years ago, it wasn't recognized. Now it is. People commit suicide all the time because they're being bullied online. Well, guess what? We're being bullied all the time, and they're using cyberbullying as one of their many tools they have in their toolbox to harass us. I promise you, these people will disappear like cockroaches the day that we get organized, the day that we show up for a support rally. Let's say we have a rally in Dallas, Texas, and people show up. I'll call the local news. I'll call the mayor, the city council, bring them all down and go, this is happening in your town. What are you going to do about it? So are you on board? Either you're on board or you just like to post videos and piss, moan, and complain. If you're totally broke and you can't do anything, take the link to my channel. Go to my channel, copy that link, and post it on websites. Post it on YouTube comment columns from other videos. Get everybody you can to come. Let's congregate here at that gang stalking show. Let's get the gang stalking research organization project off the ground. Now, once again, the reasons they do this pedophile theme or the homosexual theme or you're a murderer theme is to set you up. It's to either get you fired or to have someone come after you and kill you, or it's to have a group of people beat you up. The people who are doing this, they're lowlife, they're sociopaths. Wishing something like this on somebody is almost as bad as having a contract placed upon them to have them killed. Now, I've heard there's 4 contracts on my head. I've heard one person even state, why is he still alive? Well, my theory is these aren't valid contracts. They just say this to get me riled up or to make me lose sleep at night. But guess what? I'm not going to lose sleep. I'm not going to get riled up. I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to shut you down. If you keep coming after me, I'm going to come after you. And guess who's going to win? Me. Because it's not going to be just me by myself. It's going to be me, my attorney, federal agents, and all the people out there who support me and the people who I support. We're going to shut you down. You're going to have to find some other sick and twisted, demented form of entertainment. I guess it's time to go back to the whips and chains and the bondage. That's sick. You ought to like that. It's either that or going poaching animals out of season, kicking dogs, shooting cats. You're just sick fucking people. That's all you are. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this show. I thank you for watching. This is a very difficult subject to even talk about, but it's the honest God's truth. Please support me. Support the Gang Stalking Research Organization Project. Donate what you can. There will be a link at the bottom description of this show. And I'm also going to put a link to Chris Gristle's video about the pedophile themes and taking pictures and whatnot. It's all relevant. Please like and subscribe and comment. I will get back to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you and have a great day.